I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow, just follow the flow. I'm taking it.
A hunter lost on an unknown planet.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is everything you've been waiting 18 years for, and then some. Retro nailed the sense of discovery from the GameCube originals while giving us a massive open-world hub, ferocious new enemies, and the motorbike, which makes zipping absurdly satisfying. Samus's psychic powers and new weapons feel fresh, the environments are breathtaking, and the soundtrack bangs harder than any Prime since the first. Federation side characters actually add charm instead of annoyance. Collectibles are a grind, but made approachable. Bold, slick, and beautiful, Beyond is a Metroid game that justifies every second of the wait.
Discover the latest installment in the Octopath Traveler series. Revisit the continent of Orstera and witness a tale of the beginnings.
Octopath Traveler 0 is basically the prequel that actually knows what it's doing. 8-character combat makes fights way more interesting. You can swap people mid-battle and pull off insane combos if you think ahead. Town building is surprisingly fun, giving real bonuses without forcing you to babysit it constantly. The story actually focuses on villains for once, so punching bad guys feels personal. Visually, it's HD 2D that looks great on Switch 2, at 60 FPS, nothing flashy, just solid. On top of that, the soundtrack mixes old favorites with a few new jams. It is a massive JRPG with a ton to do.
As the town grows, you can build facilities such as the Hub, where you can cook dishes that aid you on your journey, a ranch and fields that yield a variety of resources.
A nihilist has emerged from the depths of the negative zone to claim the entire universe as his own. Let's dance, scum.
Marvel Cosmic Invasion was just released on Switch and is a comic book-fueled beat-em-up that oozes Marvel charm. The sprite work pops, backgrounds are gorgeous, and 15 playable heroes deliver wildly varied combat, from Rocket Raccoon's ranged chaos to force-grounded heavies. Dual character tag teaming adds depth, letting combos, aerial dives, and supers interweave. The feedback cues could be sharper. Story mode is fun, but too easy on medium. Art mode unlocks real challenge. Arcade mode shines with friends, especially local co-op. It's cartoonish mayhem, Marvel style, and endlessly rewarding when mastered.
Take wind! Dinosaurs? This place is rad! Full throttle!
Prism Lens!
Full blast!
Hollow Knight Silksong is more Hollow Knight in the best possible way. Faster, smarter, deadlier, and stunning. Hornet's movement feels sublime, dashing, attacking mid-air, and combat dances between precision and chaos. Fire Emblem is vast, full of secrets, traps, and NPCs that matter. A Metroidvania playground built for mastery. Boss fights are balletic, punishing, and endlessly satisfying, with music and visuals amplifying every strike. The game rewards failure with knowledge, exploration, and tiny triumphs. Smooth 120 FPS performance on Switch 2 makes it a joy to control. Silksong isn't just a sequel, it's a love letter to challenge, discovery, and polished design. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake is a masterclass in taking classics and making them feel alive again. DQI is charming, but DQ2 steals the show with a fuller party, richer story beats, and extra locales that double its original playtime. Battles remain traditional turn-based, but speed-up options, better markers, and respawn improvements make progression smoother without dumbing down strategy. The HD 2D visuals are gorgeous, perfectly marrying Toriyama sprites with dynamic lighting, while the orchestrated soundtrack elevates every dungeon in town. Smooth 60 FPS gameplay seals the deal. This is nostalgia polished, modernized, and impossible to put down. Pokémon Legends ZA does the impossible. It makes me actually want to battle. Real-time, Xenoblade-inspired combat turns every fight into a tactical dance of positioning, cooldowns, and Mega Evolutions, and Rogue Mega Evolutions add genuine chaos. ZA Royale is addictive, and the mechanics finally feel weighty, satisfying, and alive. But then you wander Lumio City and the illusion cracks. Compact, lifeless, and visually bland, with wild zones that feel like tiny pens rather than true exploration. The catching system is solid, yet stripped of wonder. Smooth performance and overall a good Pokémon game in general. Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 on Switch are basically Nintendo yelling, "Remember when we were unstoppable?" These games still wipe the floor with most modern platformers without even breaking a sweat. The upgrades aren't mind-blowing, but the higher resolution makes the already absurd creativity hit even harder. Gravity flips, planet hopping, orchestral flexing, it all still feels untouchable. Gyro controls? Yeah, still worse than the Wii, but you learn to live with the wobble. The bundle price hurts, but honestly, you're buying two platformers that haven't aged a day. Even after Odyssey, nothing else plays like this cosmic fever dream, and they know it.
Fighting in order to live, and living to fight. That's the way of our world. Ionios.
Tell me, what was
Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is basically Monolith saying, "We'll fix the Wii U version, but we're not rewriting the universe for you." And honestly, fair. The upgraded visuals look nice, though you'll barely notice unless you pause the game and squint like a museum critic. Docked mode is where it actually makes sense. Handheld feels like reading a sci-fi novel printed on a post-it. Quality of life changes, finally respect your time, and the world is still massive enough to lose a week in. The story is smart but spread thin by the open world, yet stomping around in scales still scratches that big nerdy JRPG itch beautifully.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you shoulder it all alone. What good filling up these flickering clocks in our eyes? It will never replace the friends we've lost. The flame clock, it has to go!
Ouroboros abhor this world. They must be erased without a trace.
You know me, Headmistress. I'll do both.
Cadis 2 on Switch 2 feels like coming back to a series that already mastered the formula and somehow got sharper. Melino is a technical squishier witch who forces you to rethink everything. The magic system makes builds ridiculous in the best way, especially cast-focused rounds that can wipe rooms or implode instantly if you play greedy. Surface routes still slam you like old arcade bosses, but in a fun try-again coward way. The story is solid but colder than the first. Still, the art, music, and sheer mechanical freedom make this an addictive, meticulously crafted sequel worth every run.
We can withstand him until our night arrives.
This is it.
Death to Kronos.
Death to Kronos.
The shinobi on the warpath. Such fury in your eyes.
Tear him to
Shinobi Art of Vengeance is what happens when Sega remembers it used to terrify arcades and decides to flex again. Joe Musashi moves like a caffeinated fox, chaining rolls, hops, kunai, and sword slashes into combos that practically write themselves. The animation is gorgeous, the art direction is peak ninja poetry, and the soundtrack goes from traditional to club banger without blinking. Combat depth is insane without being homework, and the game constantly lets you feel clever. The only problem? The Switch frame rate occasionally collapses like it saw a spider. When it's smooth, it's phenomenal. When it stutters, you swear loudly and keep playing anyway. Ragebound feels like Ninja Gaiden finally remembered it used to bully kids in the 80s and decided to get back into shape. It's gorgeous, fast, and basically dares you to mess up so it can laugh at you. The movement is slick, the guillotine slash makes you feel like a caffeinated acrobat, and the boss fights are the kind that tattoo their patterns into your brain. But on Switch? Yeah, the frame rate wheezes like it skipped leg day for 7 years. Still playable, still awesome, just a little jittery. If you crave old school challenge with modern swagger, Ragebound absolutely delivers, judder and all. Fantasy Life is basically level 5 saying, what if we made 3 games and duct taped them together? And honestly, it works. Mostly. You've got the classic live system, the BOTW is open zone, and the full-on Animal Crossing side hustle, all shoved into one cartridge like a gaming buffet. It's massive, comfy, and dangerously addictive, until you pick Farmer, which feels like punishment for something you didn't do. The fast travel's great, but it turns the world into a series of errands instead of little adventures. Still, if you want a cozy time sink with absurd freedom, this is the closest thing to Fantasy Life 2 we're ever getting, flows and all.
私の歩みは止められません。しぐれ参ります。はあ、とどめ。よし、今日は悪くない感じです。
Yasha's one of those roguelites that tricks you early. Great combat, nice parries, 3 characters that actually feel different, and then you realize every round starts with the same, yep, here we go again, warm-up jog. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but the progression system moves slower than a Joy-Con drift repair. New weapons help, but upgrades feel like tossing sprinkles on plain rice. This story barely exists, which is fine, because the bosses and moment-to-moment slicing are the real attraction anyway. If you live for fast action and don't mind repetition, it's solid. If you crave depth, keep scrolling.
矢は図星に向けるべき。武芸は乱世に使うべき。竹虎、ここに参上。へい、ははは。出会いは定めた。ひゃはひゃひゃ。祭りか、少し整備を整えよう。相当煩わしいな。貴様らはここにいるべきじゃない。ただいま参ったでござる。姫様、殿様。
百剣東洋天気譚。百剣流、ここに妖魔を重複。